just replaced the alternator on our 2006 Dodge Ram 2500 with the Cummins diesel, and it turned out to be one of the easiest jobs I've ever done. My biggest challenge was finding the serpentine belt tensioner pulley so I could release the tension from the belt and get it off the alternator. Once I found that, I knew I could do the job and it would be a piece of cake. Turns out it was. First thing I did was isolate the power to eliminate any risk of shock. I disconnect both batteries, negative and then the positive cables, and set them away from the terminals. The tensioner pulley is found beneath the alternator. It's got a 1/2-inch square hole in the front that'll fit a socket wrench or breaker bar. And you'll pull down on that, tightening it clockwise basically to release tension so you can remove the belt off the alternator. It's a lot easier if you don't have a camera in your hand. The auto tensioner pulley is spring loaded. All you gotta do is release the tension by pulling clockwise or down on your 1/2-inch socket, holding that in place while you get the belt off. Tension is replaced easily just by lifting up. If doing this job alone, I figured out this little trick. Once you get the tension off the belt, pull your wrench down and lock it in place with a pair of channel locks, vice grips. That'll hold the tension off the pulley while you go up and pull the belt off the alternator. With the tension off the belt, comes easily off the pulley. Then you remove power from 2 locations on the back of the alternator. Loosen 2 bolts, one at the top, one directly below it. Pull those all the way out. The alternator falls right out. You can get the new one, replace it, hook it back up in the reverse order. It didn't take much to complete the job. Just crescent wrench for releasing the cables off the batteries. 1/2-inch drive for releasing the tension on the tensioner pulley. I held that in place with a pair of vice grips, or you could have someone help you and hold it while you get that belt off. The power to the back of the alternator was a 1/2-inch socket, and the mounting bolts were 15mm, go figure. As you can see, it really wasn't an option for us just to run to the shop real quick. And we weren't about to risk an hour drive without an alternator. We could have thrown a belt and done a lot more damage. Job cost us about 179 bucks. Saved ourselves about $300 at the shop. Once I got that pulley off, the biggest challenge was locating and figuring out and releasing so I could release the